I'm sure everybody knows that. Well, here's what I do. I measure my parchment paper at 9.5 inches, and then cut these at 9.5 inches, and they fit in all cookie sheets pretty well. It's a pretty easy thing to do. And then cut them to size, and it saves a lot of time tearing out pieces of parchment paper when you can just cut them. And I leave them pre-cut, and they're sitting inside the box. And you know, this process goes by pretty quick. Broadway. So I'm taking out my pre-cut piece of parchment paper. I'm laying it on my cookie sheet, and I cut out before, and I have my pre-chilled dough. I'm using a melon baller to cut out pieces of dough. This dough is normally pretty sticky, and I found that by chilling it and ahead of time, it works really well. So, and I'm going to just crank these out really quick and then go through the process. My oven is preheating at 300, and it works pretty well this way. First time I tried this, the dough was way too sticky, and it was just an exercise in frustration. But I found that by this has been in the freezer for a while, and using a melon baller to smash out these little cookie balls really helps the process come along. So here we go. I've got this. What is this? Is a Ziploc number. I forgot what size this is, but this works perfectly for mashing out my cookies. Oops. And I don't know if it's because the dough is still pretty cold, but it's really behaving pretty well right now. That's pretty nice. But I will still, this is just to get them in the general form, the general shape. I think you still have to be careful because the dough will stick to this cup, and it's not good when that happens. So this is a general shape of the cookie. Oops. And this thing works great for this particular step. I like it. And now I finish up with this nice little pastry roller that I got. I just roll it a little bit in the flour, which is, by the way, King Arthur's unbleached all-purpose flour. I use the King Arthur for pizza dough as well because it has a very high protein content as in gluten. So it is a high gluten flour, and for pizza, I'm making cookies now. For pizza, it's excellent for that. So I just run the flour on this pastry roller, and I make these cookies wafer thin. Okay, cookie thin. I'm paying attention here. I'm on TV. No. So, try not to make these too thin. But they have to be thin because the recipe calls for it. And these are like, they're like a shortbread type of cookie. Oops, see that's what's happening. If I don't It's a shortbread kind of cookie, sugar cookie. And the dough is very finicky. Even cooling it off for as long as I did, it's still very hard to work with. And if you didn't use a pastry roller like this, you would have to use wet fingers to get it this thin. And I thought that was just too much. Okay, so that part's done here. I'm going to add a little bit of cool. You know what? This is another thing that I do is there's excess flour here. I don't think it matters that much, but I just tap the flour because it is on parchment paper. And woohoo! See it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, perfect. So I have a preheating oven. It's at 300, and I'm running out of stardust here. I'm using convection oven. I don't get how this works, but the convection oven usually runs a little hotter than your regular oven, so by about 25 degrees. So if you set it for 300, it automatically tells me that it's at 275, which makes no sense to me. So into the oven for 12 minutes, and we'll bring it out and see how that looks then. Here's what we got going. They're really wafer thin cookies.